Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. I thought I would do this video today because it just kind of popped into my head. I've got some friends that are visiting for a couple of days with their little girl. They've got a 3.5-year-old now. The man, he's been a good friend of mine for probably about 13, 14 years now. He's got a very lovely wife and they've got a sweet little girl. I've been enjoying the time. And I went out yesterday with them to a restaurant while they ate. And I don't know, I just got thinking about it. Like I was enjoying sitting there, enjoying the experience. And I had some friends that came and visited about a month ago. Actually, the guy that owns the house came up with his family and we went up to the volcano, if you might remember that. So I got to thinking, and as I was sitting there just having, enjoying time with them while they were eating, I did drink some coffee because we're in coffee country, and it was a very good cup of coffee. I had just a good cup of black coffee on a chilly, kind of rainy Sunday afternoon. But I was thinking, like, all you ever hear is like people talking about and, it's a lot of times complaining about how their family and friends and how people are treating them since they've switched lifestyles, since they're trying to do something better for their life. And, like people are always wondering, like, how do I handle it? How do I handle it? Well, now this is going to rub some people the wrong way, but just to start off, maybe you need to get rid of the assholes in your life. People tend to think like, they have to just put up with certain things, but I look back over and I'm not the most social human there is, if you haven't picked that up already. I don't do a lot of socializing, but in the 4.5 plus whatever years that I've been doing this lifestyle, I have been out on occasion, a number of times, enough times to kind of have a good example. And I must just be lucky. I know how to pick people to put around me because nobody's ever given me a hard time. Like food didn't come up yesterday. They ate what they were eating. They did their meal. I had some coffee, and I've done this a number of times, and I've done it with bigger groups. I've done it with mixed groups of people that know me very well, people that don't know me all that well. I've had a couple of situations where I was with a larger group of people for dinner and people asked questions, but they were asking me questions in a genuinely interested way. None of this, like challenging or trying to be rude or giving me a hard time, which I'm not thin-skinned, but like I say, I guess I know how to surround myself with people because and somebody will say, well, but this person. No, I don't choose to ever have. I don't put myself in a situation where I have to have an asshole in my life. Now, when you're going to gatherings, a lot of times you don't have to be antagonistic. The best thing I would say if you're going to a gathering, whether it just be a small gathering with family and friends, whether it's a party, whether it's people you know very well, or whether it's people that maybe are not as familiar to you, a social situation where it's not a whole bunch of your very close friends. First thing I would say, just the easiest way to deal with it is just not to make that big of a deal out of it. A lot of times people make more of a deal out of it and then other people pick up on that. When you just kind of do it matter-of-factly, bring your food, offer it to other people. Yeah, I'm making some healthier changes in my life. You don't have to go into this deep all of a sudden, like explaining every reason why you're doing it unless you want to. Like I say, I'm just trying to give you some tips here for being able to socialize kind of under the radar without it being such a big deal. So don't make it any more of a big deal than it has to be. And chances are a lot of people won't do it either when you're around. Now, this is going to come into personality types, and I know most people can't just like snap their fingers and change their personality types, but you've got to be a little bit bold in your walk. I'm just talking about life in general. I don't walk into any room, whether it be my best friends, people I sort of know, large rooms full of strangers, no matter what the situation is, unless it's a dangerous situation. I might crawl through a neighborhood, but I don't walk into a room with my tail between my legs. I don't walk into a room with weakness, kind of like I don't walk in presenting something that says, hey, pick on this guy, give this guy a hard time. This guy is a victim, because to be honest with you, a lot of times victims will wear that bullseye on their back with a lot of behavior. So I don't do that. I walk into a room and I own any room I walk into. Now, before some people think I'm sounding cocky there, I don't try to take over your energy, or I don't try to do that, but I'm very protected. There's like this bubble around me. Wherever I walk, I'm Jack. I'm Jack all the time. I'm not apologizing. I'm respectful of people. So that kind of gives me my attitude as well. Like, I'm respectful of everybody. I'm live and let live. I'm tolerant. So I expect the same things towards me. And I'm not going to necessarily be all lovey-lovey if you don't give me that. I do have a bite, and I'm not afraid to bark a little bit, and I'm not afraid to bite if I have to. But you've got to stand your ground for yourself. It all comes down to self-esteem in a way. Like, maybe people just have such low self-esteem, they're not confident enough just to stand up and do what they do. Like I say, don't get it. And the worst thing you can do when this does come up is to get into getting emotional with people, letting them know they get you upset. That's half the thing. I don't know if you've ever, that's just life 101. When people are trying to push your buttons, the best defense you have is not letting them push your buttons, not letting them see they're getting to you, because that goes back all the way to being a kid. You know, your parents probably told you that. Like, when people are picking on you and they're picking, the more you give back to them, the more you argue with them, they know they're getting to you, so they pick on you some more. So don't try to, just tell people what you're doing, but don't go overboard in explanations or almost like trying to explain your behavior, because you don't have to explain your behavior. You're a free individual, you're an adult. You can do whatever you want to. So don't get into that. You don't have to get into nastiness with people. A lot of times, if you're in a social situation, it doesn't even have to be a big drama or a big blow up. If somebody's treating you how you don't like to be treated, you can simply walk away. You can smile, you can end it, and you can say, okay, well, I guess we don't agree, and you can walk away. There does, like I know the tone may be going back and forth on this. I'm not necessarily saying you have to be aggro with people. You have to get nasty back with people. Although that's an option if you push me too much. I'll be nice up until the point, I'm going to get into, that's a Roadhouse quote. I'll be nice up until the point it's time not to be nice anymore, I guess is what I'm saying. But usually I don't ever get into situations anytime, even in the past when I was still a drunk, I could handle situations. I could diffuse a situation pretty quick just by pulling myself out of it. I've never liked drama. I've never liked yan and back and forth and arguing with people. I've just never been into that, and I won't do it. And a lot of people get mad at me. It's almost like when somebody wants to goad you, when they want to argue with you sometime, there are those people that it frustrates and irks them when you just won't give anything back to them. But listen, if as far as like if you were ranking, pitfalls and things that can get in the way and obstacles in this raw vegan lifestyle or high carb vegan lifestyle or whatever, for me, I would rank social situations and what other people think way down the line. Bottom line though, and I'll finish up here, you got to know why you're doing this. You got to know you're doing something healthy for yourself. And you got to basically okay, I'll share it with others, but if somebody else doesn't like what I'm doing, who really gives a damn? It's your life. So take charge of your life and walk strong with whatever you're doing. Anyhow, hope you guys like this video. If y'all like it, give me a thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button below, and hope you have a wonderful week. Love you guys. Peace.